His COO, a thin man with wire-rimmed glasses, stood up. Security, remove this woman immediately. She's disrupted an important meeting and insulted our professional interpreter. Wait. Taemin's voice was clear, barely accented. Everyone froze. He could speak. Let her translate. Welcome to Drama Wave Stories, beautiful people. If you love stories that hit different, go ahead and smash that subscribe button right now. This one's going to take you on a ride. Trust me. The COO looked horrified. Sir, she's nobody. She just walked in off the street. Taemin's hands moved in sharp, precise signs. Mara understood every gesture. The COO's face went pale. Fine, the COO said tightly. Miss Williams. Mara Williams. Miss Williams, you have exactly 5 minutes to prove you can do this job. Mara walked to the front of the room on shaking legs. She'd been in Seoul for 3 days, sleeping on her friend's couch, applying to every interpretation job she could find. She had $73 in her bank account and a return ticket to Atlanta that left in 2 weeks. This wasn't how she'd planned to get hired. She positioned herself where Taemin could see her clearly. Their eyes met, and something electric passed between them. He signed something quick. A test. He wants to know where I learned sign language, Mara said to the room. Then she signed back to him. My baby brother is deaf. I've been signing since I was 7 years old. Something flickered in Taemin's expression. Almost like recognition. Like relief. The meeting continued. Mara translated every word exactly as it was said. The Americans weren't happy about that. They'd clearly been counting on mistranslations to push through a deal that would cheat Taemin's company out of millions. He says the interpreters you hired are either incompetent, or they're being paid to mistranslate. He says he's been watching people lie to his face for 6 months and he's done. Mara's voice shook slightly. He says I'm the first person who's told him the truth. The COO looked like he wanted to argue but didn't dare. Fine. HR will process your paperwork. Then everyone left except Mara and Taemin. He stood up, and Mara realized how tall he was. At least 6 feet, broad-shouldered, wearing a suit that probably cost more than her entire wardrobe. He moved around the conference table until he was standing right in front of her. His hands moved slowly this time. Deliberately. Thank you. Mara translated out loud, a habit from years of interpreting. You saved my company today. Why did you speak up? She signed back. Because what they were doing was wrong. You deserve to know what they really said. Most people don't care what I deserve. His signing was beautiful, fluid. Mara had never seen anyone sign with such precision. They see the deaf CEO and think I'm easy to manipulate. Then they're idiots. He smiled. Actually smiled, and it transformed his entire face. I like you, Mara Williams. I think we're going to work well together. I hope so. I really need this job. Why Seoul? He signed. Why not stay in America? Mara hesitated. Long story. I have time. So she told him. About her ex-boyfriend who'd stolen her savings and destroyed her credit. About losing her apartment and her job when she'd confronted him. About her best friend from college who lived in Seoul and offered her a place to stay while she figured things out. I had $300 and a dream when I got on that plane, Mara said. Probably the stupidest thing I've ever done. Or the bravest, Taemin signed. Starting over in a foreign country with nothing? That takes courage. Or desperation. Same thing sometimes. They stared at each other for a long moment. Mara felt something shift in the air between them. Something that made her pulse quicken. Come on, he signed. I'll show you your office. Hey fam, if you're enjoying this story, drop a comment and let me know where you're watching from. Seoul? Lagos? New York? London? I want to know. And hit that like button if you're Team Mara and Taemin already. Mara's new office was ridiculous. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown Seoul. A desk made of glass and steel. A computer with 3 monitors. A coffee machine that probably costs more than her car back home. This is too much, she signed to Taemin. You're my voice now, he signed back. You need to be comfortable. Over the next 2 weeks, Mara learned that working for Kim Taemin meant entering a whole new world. His company, Mintech, developed AI software for accessibility technology, everything from advanced hearing aids to apps that translated sign language in real time. He'd built it from nothing after every tech company in Korea had rejected his job applications because of his disability. They told me deaf people can't lead, he signed to her during a late-night work session. They said I'd be a liability, a risk. So you built your own company and became more successful than all of them, Mara signed back. Exactly. She was learning his expressions. The slight tightening around his eyes when he was angry. The way his jaw clenched when someone in a meeting talked over him. The rare, genuine smile when something pleased him. She was also learning that half his staff didn't respect him. They smiled to his face and mocked him behind his back. Mara heard everything they said because they didn't think the Black American interpreter understood Korean. They were wrong. Mr. Park in accounting called you a charity case today. Mara signed to Taemin one evening as they reviewed contracts. His hands stilled. What? He said you only got investors because people felt sorry for you. He said Mintech will collapse within a year. You understand Korean? My best friend taught me. I'm not fluent, but I understand enough. Mara met his eyes. Did you want me to pretend I didn't hear it? No. His signing was sharp, almost violent. I want you to tell me everything. Every insult. Every lie. Every word they think I can't hear. That's going to hurt. I've been deaf my entire life, Mara. I'm used to hurt. What I can't stand is being treated like I'm stupid. So she told him everything. And slowly, systematically, Taemin started cleaning house. The fake interpreter was fired. Mr. Park in accounting was transferred. 3 executives who'd been embezzling funds were exposed. You're making enemies, Mara signed during a particularly brutal week. Good, Taemin signed back. I want them to know I see everything now. Because of you. The way he looked at her when he signed that made her stomach flip. They started spending more time together outside of work. He took her to restaurants where the staff knew him and didn't stare at her skin color. Showed her neighborhoods tourists never saw. Taught her Korean with the patience of a saint. No, he signed, laughing as Mara butchered another pronunciation. You're saying, I want to eat grandfather. Not I want to eat rice. Korean has too many words that sound the same. Try being deaf and learning English. At least you can hear the difference. She threw a napkin at him. He caught it, still grinning, and something warm bloomed in Mara's chest. She was falling for him. It was the stupidest thing she could do. He was her boss. He was a CEO. He lived in a completely different world. But when he looked at her, she felt seen in a way she never had before. One night, they worked late on a presentation for international investors. Just the two of them in his office, the Seoul skyline glittering beyond the windows. Can I ask you something personal? Taemin signed. Sure. Do people stare at you here? Because you're black. Mara paused, surprised by his directness. Yes. Every day. On the subway, in stores, walking down the street. Some people are just curious. Some are rude. Some take pictures without asking. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I know what it's like, he signed slowly. To be stared at. To have people make assumptions about what you can or can't do based on how you look. To be seen as less than. Their eyes met across the desk. Understanding passed between them, wordless and profound. I've never met anyone who understood that before, Mara signed. Neither have I. He stood up and walked around the desk. Mara's heart hammered as he sat down beside her, close enough that she could smell his cologne. Something clean and expensive. I need to tell you something, he signed. His hands moved slowly, carefully. And I need you to be honest with me. Okay. I think about you constantly. When I wake up, I wonder what you'll wear to work. In meetings, I watch how you translate, and I'm amazed by your skill. At night, I go home to an empty apartment and wish you were there. Mara couldn't breathe. I know I'm your boss, Taemin continued. I know this is complicated. But I can't keep pretending I don't feel this way. So I need to know. He paused, vulnerability clear in his expression. Is it just me? Or do you feel it too? We're halfway through this story, fam, and it's about to get real. If you're hooked, Hit that like button and drop a comment telling me what you think Mara should do. Should she risk it? And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Mara's hands trembled as she signed back. You're not the only one. Taemin's eyes closed briefly, like relief had physically hit him. But this is complicated, Mara continued. You're my boss. I work for you. If this goes wrong, then I'll make sure you're protected, he signed firmly. I'll put it in writing. Your job is secure no matter what happens between us personally. I'll have the lawyers draft something tomorrow. That's not what I'm worried about. Then what? Mara stood up, pacing to the window. Seoul spread out below them, millions of lights in the darkness. I'm worried about falling for someone I can't have. You're Kim Taemin. You're rich and successful and you could have anyone. I'm just... He was behind her suddenly, his hand gentle on her shoulder, turning her around. His signing was fierce. You're not just anything. You're brilliant. You're brave. You're the only person who's seen me as a person instead of a disability or a business opportunity. You're everything, Mara. She signed back through tears she didn't remember starting to cry. I'm scared. So am I. He wiped a tear from her cheek with his thumb. But I'm more scared of not trying. Of letting you walk away and spending the rest of my life wondering what if. This could be a disaster. Or it could be amazing. Mara laughed wetly. You're very optimistic for a CEO. Only about you. She kissed him. Or he kissed her. Later, she wouldn't remember who moved first. She only knew that his lips were soft and his hands were gentle as they framed her face. And kissing him felt like coming home. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Taemin pressed his forehead to hers. Stay with me tonight, he signed when she could see his hands again. Just to talk. Just to be together. Nothing has to happen. I don't want you to leave. So she stayed. They sat on his office couch talking until 3 a.m. About his childhood, the only deaf kid in a hearing school. About her brother and teaching him to sign. About dreams and fears and all the small moments that made them who they were. I've never told anyone half of this. Taemin signed as dawn started to break over Seoul. Neither have I. He drove her home as the city woke up around them. At her friend's apartment building, he walked her to the door. Dinner tomorrow, he signed. A real date. Not work. Just us. I'd like that. He kissed her again, slow and sweet, and Mara felt the last of her walls crumble. The next few weeks were the happiest of Mara's life. They kept the relationship quiet at work, professional during business hours. But every evening, Taemin took her somewhere new. Art galleries. Quiet restaurants. A beautiful park where cherry blossoms were starting to bloom. I want to show you everything, he signed as they walked through the park, his hand warm in hers. I want to give you the world. I don't need the world. I just need this. He stopped walking and pulled her close. I'm falling in love with you, Mara Williams. Her breath caught. That's moving pretty fast. I don't care. It's true. I'm falling for you too, she signed back. So hard it scares me. Don't be scared. I've got you. But someone at Mintech had noticed their connection. And they weren't happy about it. It started small. Mara's coffee order getting accidentally messed up. Files going missing from her desk. Meetings scheduled without her being informed. Then it escalated. Someone leaked to a Korean business blog that Kim Taemin was dating his interpreter. The article was vicious. It called Mara a gold digger. Suggested she was using Taemin's disability to manipulate him. Implied that a relationship between them was inappropriate and unprofessional. The comments were worse. Racist. Cruel. Some people said she should go back to America. Others said terrible things about black women and Asian men that made Mara's stomach turn. Don't read them, Taemin signed urgently when he found her crying in her office. Those people don't matter. They're saying I'm using you. That I don't really care about you. That I'm just here for money. Do I look like I believe that? No, but then nothing else matters. He knelt in front of her chair. Mara, look at me. I know who you are. I know your heart. Some strangers on the internet don't get to define us. This is going to hurt your company. Your reputation. I don't care. I don't care, he signed more forcefully. You're more important than reputation, than business, than any of it. Don't you understand that? The next day, Taemin called a press conference. Every major Korean business outlet attended. Mara stood to the side, translating, as he addressed the cameras. I'm Kim Taemin, CEO of Mintech. You may know me as the deaf CEO. The one people pity. The one they think needs protection. His voice was steady, clear. But I don't need protection. What I need is for people to stop making assumptions about my life and my choices. Mara's hands moved, signing his words as he spoke them. Mara Williams is the best interpreter I've ever worked with. She's brilliant, professional, and has saved my company from multiple bad deals because she had the courage to speak up when others stayed silent. Our relationship is personal, yes, but it's also none of your business. The reporters shouted questions. Taemin ignored them. I'm tired of living my life according to other people's expectations. I'm tired of being told what I can and can't do, who I can and can't care about. So here's what's going to happen. You can write whatever you want. Say whatever you want. But Mara and I are going to keep living our lives. Together. He turned to look at Mara then. His expression soft. Because I love her. And that's the only thing that matters. The room exploded with camera flashes and shouted questions. But Taemin walked straight to Mara, took her hand, and led her out of the press conference. If you're still watching, you're a real one. Show some love. Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and comment your favorite moment so far. Let's get to the ending. In the car, Mara turned to him. Did you mean that? What you said in there? Every word. You told the entire country you love me. Yes. He signed with one hand, the other still holding hers. Was that too much? Too fast? Maybe. Mara smiled through happy tears. But I love you too. So I guess we're both crazy. He kissed her right there in the back seat of his car, with his driver studiously pretending not to notice. The backlash was intense at first. Mintech's stock dipped. Some conservative investors pulled out. But then something unexpected happened. Younger investors reached out. International companies impressed by Taemin's honesty. Accessibility advocates praising his courage. The tide began to turn. Looks like honesty was good for business after all. Mara signed during a meeting 2 weeks later. I told you not to worry. You were worried too. I could tell. Maybe a little. He smiled. But you were worth the risk. 3 months later, Mara moved into Taemin's penthouse apartment. 6 months after that, he proposed in the same park where the cherry blossoms bloomed. I know we're moving fast, he signed as he knelt in front of her, a ring box open in his hands. I know people will talk. But I don't want to wait. I want to start our life together now. Will you marry me, Mara Williams? She pulled him to his feet and kissed him instead of answering. When they finally broke apart, she signed back. Yes. 1,000 times yes. Their wedding was small. Mara's family flew in from Atlanta, including her brother who cried through the entire ceremony. Taemin's mother, who'd been skeptical at first, welcomed Mara with open arms once she saw how happy her son was. The ceremony was conducted in both sign language and spoken words. Every vow, every promise, communicated in 2 languages so that everyone present could understand. I promise to be your voice when you need one. Mara signed during her vows. And to listen when you don't. I promise to see you always, exactly as you are. I promise to love you through every challenge, every victory, every quiet moment in between. Taemin's vows made everyone cry. You walked into my life and changed everything, he signed. You gave me truth when everyone else gave me lies. You gave me courage when I'd forgotten how to be brave. You gave me love when I'd stopped believing I deserved it. I promise to spend every day earning that gift. To protect you, support you, and love you with everything I have. When they kissed,